I don't know if we've mentioned it at all this week, but it's back to school time.
Yes.
Also time for a lesson for parents.
Consumer reporter Steve Noviello is in this morning with the answers to your back-to-school budgeting. All right, Steve, dish it out.
Good morning, guys. You know, we solicited questions through social media asking viewers what their biggest back-to-school dilemmas were. And guess what? Budgeting was #1 on nearly every list that we got. So one of the first rules for back-to-school budgeting is to really get the whole family involved. Take a look at some video we've got for you. If your kids have no idea how much things cost, then you've automatically eliminated two very important things from the equation: reason and limits. Sure, you want to give the kids everything that they want, but make the list with them. Discuss wants and needs. You know, take a look at the cost of things like after-school activities and allow the kids to make some tough choices here. Your kid says that they absolutely must take dance lessons and play basketball, but what if doing both of those things meant no new backpack or a shorter family vacation this year? See if they can prioritize with you.
But I don't want to, Mom.
Yeah, well,
I want to do it all.
The kids are looking about, a foot in front of their noses, as we all know, and saying that, well, whatever's the next thing is what I want. And then
That's true.
I'll whine about that when the time comes down the road. So what guidelines are we talking about?
There are kind of two golden guidelines that I recommend for back to school. The first is this: not all new, not all today. Take a look. You know, look at the back to school year, going back to school, the new school year, and I need a new backpack and new shoes and new uniforms and new notebooks, right? And I get it. Kids grow out of shoes, they grow out of clothes. Sometimes you do need to buy new, but not everything has to be new. Last year's pencil sharpener works just as well this year as it did last year, so you don't need to buy a new one. Or maybe you've got some extra pens or notebooks or whatnot. Make a list of what is absolutely necessary. And in the case of having to buy new, guess what? You don't have to buy it all in one trip to the store.
That's true. What else, Steve?
All right, second guideline is this: just like Christmas, birthdays, and that anniversary that we often forget, the best part about back to school, it happens the same time every single year. So guess what? All of a sudden, things like extra gas to cart the kids around and their friends after school, and things like lunches and uniforms, all of these line items should not be shocks to your budget. The #1 mistake that people make when it comes to budgeting for back to school is they take the summer off. Instead of taking the summer off from the expenses, why don't you continue to pay for them as if you are incurring them all summer long, maybe into some sort of school savings account. That way, by the end of the summer, two things happen. Not only are you still used to those things in your budget, but now you've accumulated a nice little tiny school slush fund. So in the case that Junior does need a new pair of glasses or maybe an upgrade to the family computer, you've got the cash to do it. You can sound off right now about your own back-to-school budgeting strategies on my Facebook fan page. You'll find a link right now, myfoxdfw.com.
Awesome. Thanks.
I love the idea of just, and the other thing is, you got two big events, Christmas and the start of school, and they're both very expensive, but they're about 6 months apart. So you can save for one for 6 months, spend all that money, save for the other one. I've never done that, but
it's a
I
good
love,
idea.
Sounds great.
I love
Good
telling
idea.
other people how to live their lives.